sure. The cheerful look on your face didn't fool me for a minute.
You think this is funny?
Honey, I think it's not going to help going on about it.
I'm telling you, Doris, my little girl calls me up and says, I love you, Daddy, and I respond to her with a voice still hoarse with passion.
I get the picture, George.
Don't you feel any guilt?
Sometimes.
You never say anything.
I just handle it in a different way.
How?
Privately.
You know, sometimes I think men are more sensitive than women.
Why don't you have more champagne, dear?
I mean that women are more pragmatic than men.
What does that mean?
I mean, you adjust to rottenness quicker. Anyway, you've got the church.
The church?
You're Catholic. You get rid of all your guilt in one sitting. I have to live with mine.
You know, there's a lot about being Catholic that you don't understand.
I tell you, Doris, she starts talking about the tooth fairy, and it really gets to me in a profound sort of way. And on top of all that, I got indigestion like you wouldn't believe. It hits me hard, you know?
I have 3 kids too, George.
No, I'm not saying you don't understand. I'm just saying that sometimes I feel like my guilt is more acute than yours.
What do you want to do? Have a guilt complex? Will that make you feel any better?
Doris, what do you want me to do?
Well, right now, I think it would be a terrific idea if you just stopped talking about it. It's only making you feel worse.
I couldn't possibly feel any worse. That little voice calling out to me saying, no, you're right. Let's forget it. Let's talk about something else. Tell me the bad story about Harry. Or the good story. Tell me the good story about Harry.
Okay, well, Harry went bankrupt.
How can anyone possibly go bankrupt selling TV sets?
Well, Harry has one failing as a salesman. It's the compulsion to talk his customers out of things they can't afford. He lacks the killer instinct. You know, actually, that's one of the things I like best about him. Anyway, he went into real estate. Your turn.
What?
Tell me your story about Helen.
I already did.
No, you just told the bad story. Why do you always tell that one first?
I guess it's the one I look forward to telling the most.
Tell me the good one.
Okay. So, Chris, that's our middle one. Gashed his knee pretty badly on a lawn sprinkler. Helen drove both of us to the hospital.
Both of you.
Yeah. I fainted. The good part was she didn't tell anyone.
Do you faint often?
Only in emergencies.
Was it the sight of the blood?
Oh, please, Doris. My stomach is squeamish enough as it is. Look, instead of staying to our usual time, would you mind if I left a little early this year?
When did you have in mind?
There's a plane leaving in half an hour.
You want to leave 23 hours early?
Look, I understand how you feel. I wouldn't even suggest it if you weren't a mother. I wouldn't even bring it up if it wasn't for this emergency. It's not just the tooth fairy. She could have swallowed the tooth. It could be lodged anywhere. I know this is leaving you hanging, but there's no reason you should leave. The room's all paid up. And if you see my hairbrush, I'm probably doing you a favor. I'm sure I wouldn't be much fun if I stayed anyway. You're feeling rejected, right? Look, you need to understand that me leaving has nothing to do with you and me. I've got a sick child at home. It's an emergency.
Would you stop it? This has nothing to do with the goddamn tooth fairy. It has everything to do with the fact that you're feeling guilty and you think that the only way you can deal with it is to get as far away from me as possible.
Okay, I feel guilty. Is that so strange? Doris, we're cheating. Once a year, we lie to our families, sneak off to a hotel in California, and commit adultery. Not that I want to stop doing that, but I feel guilt. I admit it.
You admit it? You take out ads. You know, you probably stop strangers in the street. I would be surprised if you didn't have a Scarlet A embroidered on your jockey shorts. You think that by talking about it, you can make yourself feel better? So you wander around like an open nerve saying, I'm cheating, but look how guilty I feel. So I must really be a very nice guy. And then top it all, you have the incredible arrogance to think that you're the only one in the world with a conscience? That doesn't make you a nice guy. You know what that makes you? A horse's ass!
You know, I think I liked you a lot better before you joined the Buckman Club. And look, it's not the end of the world, Doris. I'm not leaving permanently. I'll see you next year.
No, I don't think you will.
You're kidding. You're going to throw away a lifetime of weekends because I have to leave early 1 year? How can you be so casual?
I just don't see any point in going on.
Oh, no. Don't do that to me, Doris. Don't try to manipulate me. Get enough of that at home. That's not what our relationship is about.
No? What is it about?
You mean you don't know?
Yes, I know, but I don't think it's the same thing you think it's about. That's why I think we should stop seeing each other.
You're serious.
George, what's the point in meeting in guilt and remorse? What joy is there in that?
Doris, I have a commitment there.
And you have none here?
Here? Our only commitment here was to show up every year.
Sure. 2 friendly sex partners who meet once a year, touch and let go.
Okay, maybe I was fooling myself. I'm human.
Well, so am I.
But you're different. You're stronger. You always seem able to cope.
Over the past year, I picked up the phone to call you 10 times. I couldn't stop thinking about you. You kept slipping over into my real life. It bothered the hell out of me. What's worse is it made me feel guilty. So, I decided to stop seeing you. I wasn't even going to come here this year. But I figured I at least owed you an explanation, so I came. And then, you walked through that door. I knew I couldn't do it. That whatever the price was, I was going to pay it.
God, I feel so guilty.
I think you better leave, George.
Doris, I love you. I'm an idiot. I suspect I'm deeply neurotic. I'm no prize, but I do love you. Will you let me stay? What are we going to do?
Touch. Hold on very tight. Until tomorrow.
No, of course I haven't left Helen. This is a business trip. I come out here every year. I am not running away from the problem. Yes, of course I realize this is serious, but I still don't see why that's any reason for you to call me a long distance. And yes, I have seen a doctor. He said it's no big deal. It happens to every man at one time or another. Look, if we really have to talk about this, you can at least pronounce it correctly. It's impotence, not impotence. What do you mean? Did I catch it in time? We're not talking about a terminal illness. It's a slight reflex problem. No, it is not a matter of nipping it in the bud. How did you even find out about this anyway? What sort of hints? You asked her and she looked funny. Terrific. I really don't want to talk about this. I will be fine. Soon. I just know. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing a specialist out here. I really don't want to talk about this anymore. So, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm going to hang up now. Goodbye, Mother.